Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. You guys come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Great morning. Great morning. Let me share. Hey, you guys. Great morning. Okay. Hey, gorgeous. How are you? Thank you for sharing. Y'all come on in. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Christina. How are you, gorgeous? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Great day, Corey. How are you, beautiful? Mm, mm, mm. Great day, April. Thank you for sharing. Let me share as well. Hold on, y'all. Stop playing with me. Okay. As long as I can see this, I can't share right now, but as long as I can see what I need to see over there, I should be good. All right, you guys, listen, Linda, listen, Linda, listen. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to shake, shake, shake. Shot, 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 shot. Everybody shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. Hey, 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 hey. Shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. Listen, I got to give out a shout out to Pastor Walt for starting that, man. When he did that, I was like, oh, that's good. So let me go ahead and pour it up. Here's to being chosen. Oh, yes. Woo. Pour my baby up. All right, you guys. So, woo. Oh, that was good. That was real good. So, y'all, listen. Let me loosen my hair up. So today's word deals with purpose. It deals with purpose. And I love this because so often I get asked questions and then, man, God answers through the devotion or through the drive-by. So listen, purpose. You are a chosen people. You are a chosen people. 1 Peter 2:9. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. You are chosen, baby. And just like that, God chose you. My God. The devotion reads, you are chosen. That alone makes me want to shout to the top of my lungs from the highest mountain to let the world know who I am. When God tells you that you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, you have to have some confidence in who you were created to be. Even if you've made bad choices and messed up time and time again, you are still chosen. Think about that. God, who knows the end from the beginning, chose you even though he knew every mistake and misstep you would make. I'm talking about every one of them. I know you're asking, why me, God? But I came to tell you that he chose you because you are an amazing gift to the world. You are designed to impact the lives of other people in a massive way. You are the light in the midst of the darkness that God is waiting to flare up and light up the dark skies of the world. That's right, you. I don't care who told you that you don't have value. I don't care who told you you weren't good enough. I don't care who told you that you weren't worthy. I don't care who told you that you couldn't do it. God said you are chosen. Now, the $1,000,000 question is, who will you believe? Whose voice will you allow to dictate your moves and your perception of yourself? Whose report shall you believe? As for me, I will believe the report of the Lord. I believe the God who formed me in my mother's womb, the one who brought my mother and my father together to create me. Hold on. Hold on. The one who brought my mother and my father together to create me. The one who kept me through all of the negative things that happened in my life. The one who kept me when I was raped, the one who loved me when I didn't think my parents loved me, the one who held me through every breakup and disappointment, the one who still keeps me in the midst of losses, disappointments, and mistreatments, the one who believes in me when I don't believe in myself, that God, my God, I am chosen. I am a royal priesthood. I am a holy nation. I am God's special possession. Me. That's right. Me. Little old me from a small town, a single mother, a broken home, broken marriages, suicide attempts, depression, abortion, a miscarriage, failures, lost loves, lost friendship, broken promises, and so much more is God's special possession. That means that I belong to him, and so do you. You can insert your story, your situation, your circumstances, your challenges, your trials, your failures, your life in the statements above, and it still remains true that we are God's special possession. The beauty of it all is that he will possess us if we allow him to do so. So I belong to him, and so do you. We are his. The power of that statement makes it seem unbelievable because we know how imperfect we are. But can I just tell you that God does not value us based on our perfection or our works? He loves us because we are his. He formed us. He is our father. He created us in perfection. And even though we may have lost our way, he has never lost his love for us. He doesn't throw us away like people. No, he holds our hand. He lifts our head. He stands us on our feet when we have fallen. Today, I challenge you to say out loud to yourself over and over again that I am God's chosen. Scream it if you have to in order to make yourself hear it and believe it. Whatever you have to do to get that truth of and whatever you have to do to get the truth of who you are in God, in the core of your being, do that. At the end of the day, nothing can change who we are in him, to him, and through him. Let the world know who you are. I am God's chosen. Man, let me tell y'all something. I know sometimes we may not like being chosen. It may not feel good to be chosen. But the fact that we are chosen and God's special possession means that Everything that he has chosen us for is for our good and his glory. In the midst of every trial, every tribulation, every situation, every infirmity, every challenge, listen, we're still chosen. When we mess up, and we mess up massively, we're still chosen. He knew every mess up we would make, every misstep we would take, he already knew, and still we are chosen. There's something about being chosen by God who knows everything about you and still chooses you. It's like in a relationship, when you're in a relationship with someone and they choose you, but they don't know that you snore, or they don't know, that you have these quirky habits, or these things that they don't know. And you wonder inside, if they find out, will they still choose me? Well, God knows all of that stuff. He knows every single bit of it, everything about you, past, present, and future, and you are still chosen. Chosen for his purpose. Chosen and set apart. Chosen by God. I'm talking about, I want you to think about that. God, who created heaven and earth, chose you. I'm talking about, he created everything in the world and he chose you. I don't know. God is dope. God is just dope. The fact that he knew everything about us and he still chose us. Like, God, you for real. For real, you choose me. Even though you know everything about me, you still choose me. Listen, we're chosen. I think about, the whole dating process, and when you're dating and you're putting on your best face, and, you don't want the person to see you not made up, done up with a haircut. You don't want them to see you in your just regular average. I just woke up. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. And most of us don't wake up flawless. So, you don't want them to see you like that. And you wonder, if they see you like that, will they love you? Will they love you with no makeup or with no haircut? Will they love you on your worst day? Will they still love you when they see you at your worst? When they see the side of you that you try to keep from the world, will they still love you? Will they still choose you? God has seen all of that and more, because he sees your heart. He sees the hidden things in your heart, the stuff that nobody else sees, the stuff that you think that nobody else knows. He knows and sees all of that, and he loves you and he chose you. Man, this morning, it's cold here. Well, cold here is not cold everywhere else, but it's in the 50s. It's cold here, and when it's cold, my body tends to ache, right? It tends to ache, have some challenges with my joints and stuff, right? So my husband was like, babe, you need to get up and go to the gym. My body said, oh, no, not yet. Too cold. Too cold out there. I'm not going to be able to do it yet, man. I'm going to have to try to go later. And I do want to go later because I want to get into sauna, because it helps. The heat helps with my joints and stuff. So, but I got up to do the live. When I got up to do the live, I realized that I scrubbed my face yesterday. I did a good old scrub. I took all the makeup off. There's nothing. There's not even no residual makeup, no leftover makeup. And I said, I'm getting ready to go live. I'm not doing that. Look, I've learned that you got to be willing and able to show, like, you not being fixed up. Not even the stuff that just adds a little bit. Because, even if I don't do a lot, if I put my eyebrows on, put them on. If I put my eyebrows on and my lip gloss, it does a little something different to my face. My face looks a little different. But today, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, this is me, right? And I love me. I love me with makeup, and I love me without makeup. My husband would tell me, you don't need no makeup. He says it all the time. And I know I don't. But it just accentuates the natural beauty. But he chose me having seen my face. He chose me having seen my natural hair. He chose me having seen me sick. He still chose me. And we're coming upon the anniversary of when we first started talking, right? November 21st, we had our first conversation. And I got sick. After that, I got sick. And I find myself thinking, I'm so grateful that he chose me. Now, listen, I know I'm a catch. I'm a catch, don't get it wrong. But I'm grateful that he chose me. I'm grateful that he chose me with me sharing with him my flaws, mistakes, just being totally vulnerable to him. And he still chose me. What I know is my husband is God showing me how chosen I am. Not because he's perfect. He's not perfect. I'm not saying that. But there's something about the way he thinks about me. Letting me know that I'm chosen and that I'm special and that he cares for me. Things that may seem small to other people, but are big to me. Most of the time, if I say something, my husband hears it and he does something. Like it's done and I won't even be thinking about it anymore. And by the time I think about it again, I'm like, babe, did you da-da-da-da-da? He's like, oh, babe, I already did that. Or when I think I didn't remind him to do something, I didn't have to. He thinks of me. Last night he went to the store and he brought me back some fuzzy slipper socks, right? Because he knows my feet get cold. And I'm like, babe, I'm cold. I'm cold. He said, babe, I don't know what to do. You always cold. I said, I know, babe. It's the change in the weather. I'm cold. He came back with big, fuzzy slipper socks. I'm talking about they just look like, oh my God, they're going to feel so good on my feet and be so warm. And it was 2 pairs. I was like, oh my God, babe, you thought about me. And he did. He said, of course I did. Because to him, it's of course I did, right? So I said, oh, babe. So I opened up. I said, babe, you'll put it on for me. You put them on for me. So he put them on my feet. I'm snuggled up under the cover, sitting on the couch. And I'm like, God, you chose me. When you can appreciate being chosen, those days that are not so good, where you're not necessarily agreeing with each other, or they've done something that agitates you or aggravates you, when you remember just how blessed you are, it changes your perspective. Like, I wouldn't trade him in, even though there are times when he most definitely does get on my nerves. And there are times when I most definitely get on his. I wouldn't trade it, not on my worst day. When we're having our worst day, I still wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade anything for what it is we have, for what we share, for what God is doing in our lives. I wouldn't trade it. And the reason I wouldn't trade it is that I know that he loves me. This man loves me, and I love him. I'm talking about, sometimes I just look at him. I know y'all be like, she be doing the most on here. I just be looking at him like, I love you. And I don't love him because of all his muscles, because he don't have no lot of muscles. And I don't love him because he's dark chocolate. He kind of chocolate, but he ain't dark chocolate. Now, there was a time when he was dark chocolate. I ain't gonna lie. I saw a picture. My husband was dark chocolate. I was like, whoa. It's not that. I don't love him because he's getting a six pack, because he is getting a six pack. Don't get that twisted. I love him because of who he is, his heart. And when I find myself agitated or frustrated, he always does something that reminds me why I love him so much. I kind of feel like that with God, right? Maybe y'all don't, but I do. Um, Sometimes I'd be like, God, why do you always give me these tough assignments? Why do I always have to be the one that makes adjustments? Or why do I always have to be the one that apologizes? Or why do I always have to be the one that's the bigger person? Why do I always have to be the one that operates in grace? Why do I have to be the one that's chosen to do a tough thing that, I've not seen done? Like, why is it that I have to be? God, why would you give me this assignment? God, why would you allow this in my life? Why me, God? Why? I'd be frustrated with him. I'm talking about God. I'd be frustrated with him. Because I'd be like, can you not pick somebody else to go through some of this foolery? And then he does something that reminds me why I love him so much. You know, yesterday, I had a couple of free coaching sessions. And the first one, because the system I use, you have to confirm the appointment in order to get the Zoom link. And she hadn't gotten the Zoom link and she was emailing me, but I didn't see it until a little later. And we were scheduled to meet at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And, she's like, oh, got the link. And I'm like, okay, I apologize. Da, 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 da. So we met and I gave her a little more time because I was late and she didn't get the link. But I asked her, I said, well, what made you schedule, this free session? And she said, I don't know, I just feel kind of stuck. She said, and I remember back in 2015, I actually found you on Periscope. God told me to get on Periscope. I did. And I started prophesying on Periscope when Periscope first launched. She said, and one day you gave me a word, 2015. One day you gave me a word, and the word was to stay planted. Stay planted. You said you want to leave, you want to run, but stay planted where you are. There's something that God is doing in you, and He needs you to stay where you are. So she said, so I stayed, and I'm still there to this day. In fact, it's the place where I met my husband. And now I'm married with a son, and I sing in the choir, and I'm active in the church. And she said, when you gave me that word, it settled me. And I really began to take my relationship with God seriously. A word I gave on a platform that doesn't exist anymore in 2015 resulted her staying in the place where she was, which is where she would meet her husband, and they would have a son. And I said, wow, God, wow. Look, I know you may not understand all of the specifics and the details of why God has you where you are, and you might not understand why you're going through what you're going through. But this is what I'm going to tell you. God has a plan and a purpose for everything that he's doing. And no one else might not understand it. No one else might not get it. But it's okay because you're chosen. And you're not chosen as a second choice. You were God's first choice. You're not an afterthought. You're not the backup. You're God's first choice. He chose you. So if God chose you, there's purpose in the choosing. God chose Job. He chose Job. He chose him. Not only did he choose him, he told Satan, have you considered my servant Job? Wait, you just put me out there like that, God. Mm-hmm. And Job went through some stuff. He lost his children. He lost livestock. He got sick. He was covered in boils that burst and stank and excreted pus. His wife said, why don't you just curse God and die? But God chose him. And after he had gone through all of that and held steadfast, even when his friends told him, oh, you must have sinned. Oh, you had to do something. Come on, you can tell us. We're your friends. We're your boys. You can tell us, angel number 133. You can tell us what you did. We know you did something. What you do, Job? You had to do something. All this can't be happening to you for nothing now. You had to do something. What you done did, Job? Job was like, I didn't do anything. After all was said and done, Job got double for his trouble. Double. Double. What I'm telling you is this. Know that God has a plan in everything that's currently happening in your life. And it's for your good. One of the things about this fast is these devotions, they be devotioning. They be bringing up stuff. I be like, whoa. Think about it. God is refining us. And I'm going to tell you where his greatest refining work happens in relationships. Like, that's where God does some of his best refining, right? Because y'all be like, sometimes, right? God's refining you. He's purifying you, sanctifying you, purging you, giving you a different definition of love. Love as we know it is very selfish. It's very selfish. It's very much about self. It's very much about you getting what you want. Um, it's not this selfless love that God has for us. And so we have relationships where we have to learn selfless love. I ain't mastered it. I ain't mastered it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I mastered. I ain't mastered it. I ain't mastered it. But what I know is this. I want to love like God loves. And that means loving in spite of and not because of. Jackie said, sometimes I ask God, why you trip? Girl, I know, because listen, I find myself being like April Green Anderson talking about some. I know you lying. You want me to what? I'm not gonna do that. God, stop playing with me. You play too much. He don't be playing. He be serious. He be serious. I be like, what? Yes, Evelyn said, me too. Listen, Stacy. Yeah. Right. Right. Look, but guess what? Let me tell you what I've discovered. So what I've discovered, and this is just my revelation, it may not apply to you guys, but this is what I've discovered. What I've discovered is when God allows me to go through certain things, the me that I become as a result of having gone through the things that I've gone through looks more like him. It looks more like him. And because I'd be like, oh God, you need to get them. Get them, God. That's me. I know y'all like, oh, Dr. V, you shouldn't. I be like, God, either you get them or I get them. Which do you prefer? Because we can go either way. Okay? Either you can get them and handle that, or I can get them and handle that. I would prefer that you do it versus me, but this needs to be handled. They need to be handled. They need to be dealt with. They need to know that they know that they know. Don't play with me. So God, you need to check up, angel number 144, and let them know. I'll be becoming 50 Cent. I don't know what you heard about me. But you can't get $1 out of me. I'm not a PIMP, but like, I don't know what you heard about me, but baby, you better ask again. Maybe you asked the wrong person, because baby. But look, check this out. Everything I've gone through in my life has gotten me to the place where I am right now, and has allowed me to have a level of grace with people that the other me would not have had. I'm talking about even when they do wrong, a level of grace. I'm talking about don't do what you used to would do, level of grace, right? Because I've matured in God. That doesn't mean that I let people run all over me. I don't. But I also don't feel like I have to fight every battle. I also don't feel like I've got to know every detail. I just take the journey and trust him with it. Jennifer said, right, ask about me. Good morning, baby. I love you, Jennifer. So I'm going to say this, and y'all can take it for what it's worth and do with it what you want to. Yes, grace extended and forgiveness learned. I remember when my baby and I first started talking, I remember I was going through a lot of different emotions and there was a lot of stuff going on in my life. And I remember he sent me this song, Hey Beautiful. Right, Jennifer. Even when they know what they do not, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. No, they know. They know. But he sent me this song, and he didn't send me a song every day, but he would send me songs, and it seemed like the songs that he sent me always corresponded with what I was going through. It was what I needed. And there's something about someone sending you something that you need, but you haven't told them that you need it. That's impactful. That's why one of the many reasons why I'm so grateful for him. Angel number 166. My daddy told me one time, he said, listen, Tim is a special man because you're not the easiest to deal with. I said, what, daddy? What? I said what I said. You heard what I said. I said, daddy, now why would you say that? He said, because it's the truth. I'm your daddy and I'm going to tell you the truth. I said, daddy. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not just going to be on your side. I'm going to be on the side of right. And I said, this man, if he don't sound like me, because that's the mess I be telling my kids. They be like, and mama, da-da-da-da-da. I said, well, baby, you were wrong in that. Stacey says, sometimes I have to go back and look at the definition of God's love and I realize I'm wrong again. Yeah. Y'all, we may be wrong, but we're chosen. We may mess up, but we're still chosen. Man, you better look in the mirror and say, I am chosen. God chose me, right? Because when you know that, you can walk through this thing called life. You can go through what you got to go through because God chose you for it. Yes, Jennifer, I am chosen for such a time as this. Such a relationship as this, such a place as this, such a business as this, I'm chosen. Such a ministry as this, I'm chosen. Such a challenge as this, I'm chosen. Such a trial as this, I'm chosen. Such an infirmity as this, I'm chosen. Why did God choose you to walk through whatever it is that you're walking through? Because he knew that you would walk through and not stop and stay stuck. Today, our affirmation is, I am chosen. Chosen by God Almighty himself. I'm chosen. God picked me. God chose me. I'm chosen. But I don't know about y'all. I feel a way about that. God chose. But don't mess with me. God chose me. What? God chose me. So today, walk in the knowledge that you are chosen by this dope God that we serve, who knew exactly what you needed, when you needed, how you needed it, and gave it to you when you needed it. So now, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Throw it all away? Or allow yourself to be purged, purified, refined, so that God can get the glory because you've been chosen. You all, I pray this word blessed you. I pray that you got what you needed out of it. Listen, go ahead, sow your seed. You can sow your seed. We're still accepting the pastoral anniversary seed, the $55 seed, the multiple of 5 seed. You can sow that at $cash app $DRV Johnson 777, cash app $DRV Johnson 777. Listen, y'all, let's get it. Let's do it. And let's give God all the praise, the honor, and the glory because he's worthy. It's due him. It's due him. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.